Hi, welcome back. This is our second video. We made it. We have a new teddy today with us. This is my first teddy I ever had. She doesn't look too bad. She's over 30 years old. Huh? She's happy to be with you today. Of course, I had to put on something a little feminine because who can compete with that? Anybody that hasn't seen my videos before, the reason for Teddies helping me out, I collect them, but mostly they're here because I use my iPad and the camera is off to the side, and I have a tendency to want to look straight at the video, which makes it look like I'm looking at out of space while I talk to you. So if I look at this and talk to the teddy, it draws me to the camera. Okay? Is she beautiful? All right, on our first video, which was about introducing ourselves and starting to discuss the ascension, I mentioned that I was doing this basically to help the people out that have no idea what everybody's talking about because they've never been involved in spirituality or mediumship or any of that. And so therefore there's a lot of terminology when you start to hear about it that you may not understand, and there are even things as I came into learning about the ascension and awakening that I actually had to stop and look up, and that's no fun. So I thought if I could open up this and just help people to understand in layman terms what everybody's talking about, that I would do my best to do that. So if there are any questions that you have regarding the ascension, the awakened, spirituality, mediumship, ghosts, angels, ascended masters, I'll do my best to give you an answer. I work with angels. I work with ascended masters. I work with spirit guides. I work with your loved ones, my loved ones that have passed. So I do the best to relate to you what they're trying to do, and that is to communicate with you, each and every one of them. There's different ways, and as I mentioned in my first video, if you haven't seen that, I didn't know how to hear them. I had mediumship. I had the ability to do mediumship and connect with people that have passed over, but I had no idea that my own angels, that my own higher self, which is the spiritual part of us, were trying to talk to me or communicate with me. And through a very miraculous way, they have done this, and they have taught me themselves, which I'm actually writing a book about and hope to publish. But it's like one of those things that it just keeps going and going and going. You think, ooh, when would the end of the first book be, and when would the start of the second book be? So I think I've kind of figured that out, and we've got about 4 chapters done now. Oh, this is Misha. She likes to jump up and sit with us now and then. She is very attracted to the spirit world and sees a lot. Sometimes they tease her, and she'll come out and she'll go to the bathroom, and then she's stuck out in the kitchen. They won't let her back in the bedroom at night, and she'll sit out here and whine. And I'll come out and say, leave her alone. And then she'll go running past me and jump up on the bed. The spirit world doesn't scare me at all. I live with a lot of spirits, and there's a lot of activity in my own because of it. But I love them dearly, and I understand them now, which I have to honestly say, 7 years ago, it wasn't like this. So what I want to try to do is to help you to understand that we are just energy. We are vibrating at such a low vibration. That's what makes the body stay visible, is the vibration. And everything vibrates. A rock vibrates, but the vibration is so much slower than us, it doesn't move at all. I found that all kind of fascinating. And now I'm just touching on the tip of things because I don't want to make it complicated for other people to understand. But isn't that fascinating when you think? So what happened is the earth itself has what we call ascended. First time ever, it's ascended. And scientists and those are now seeing changes. So what happens then, it's like the earth is moved to, let's say, an FM station, and all of us are like sitting down here on AM going, huh? I can't hear you. What's that? What? And so the angels and the guides and all of them that have the ability are working with us to raise our vibration so that we'll be able to communicate, so we'll be able to hear and understand better. Once we go through this process, you're going to be amazed at the changes, not in only other people and things around you, but in yourself. How you feel about things, your outlook on things. I look at my life now, and I've been going through the ascension process for 7 years. I've worked with the spirit world for 20. And as I've gone through the ascension process, I look back now and it's like when you wake up from a dream and you can remember parts of it, and yet you think, oh, that was a little strange. Now my past life before the ascension seems like that dream. I can't believe that things that used to bother me don't bother me anymore. I can't believe that things that I used to feel were needs, that I had to have them, weren't really needs. They weren't really needs at all. Misha's a little restless. So that's what part of the ascension is doing. It's changing you as a person. It's changing you as the way you think, as the way you feel, as the way you perceive things. It's a bit of a long process, but I'm hoping that videos like mine and other videos that I've watched that are out there can help you through the process. And as soon as it's kind of like when you were a little kid, and all of a sudden one day it hit you, oh my gosh, 2 and 2 is 4. And then you realize 2 and 2, 1, 2, 3, it all adds up. And you think, oh my goodness, so that means 4 and 4 is 8. And the ascension process is kind of the same way. One day it all kind of hits you. And then you start and you look back and you realize how many times they've tried to show you, how many ways they've tried to show you that this is the way that it works. And then you can start putting everything together and it starts to go smoother and smoother. And yeah, you're going to hit these bumps now and then. But when you hit the bumps, when everything's going along really smooth and you think, wow, this is right. That old lady knew what she was talking about a little bit. Then you hit the bumps and you think, well, she didn't tell us about this. Well, I'm going to tell you now, so you can't say that. But anyway, when you hit the bumps, again, that's when you got to look at what's going on. It's actually a good sign. It's actually a good sign. It means that you've learned pretty much what you were doing is so good that now we got to make it a little rocky because we're going to add things, okay? And when they add things, everything gets tossed and turned and triddled up again, and you're thinking, oh, jeez. When I tell you about the process that I went through for this, I thought I was losing my mind. I thought, this is it. First off, I was an older woman. I was 59 years old. I had done the same job for over 20-something years. I had always worked. I was a single mother, raising a child by myself. I've lived now over 30 years by myself. And I thought, I'm an older person. I was very ill. I couldn't breathe, oxygen 24/7. And all of a sudden now, I thought, people are going to think I'm totally crazy. She's hearing voices. Now try and imagine living that one down, okay? She's hearing voices. She thinks it's angels. But it was true. And what I would hear them say to do, I would do. I would practice and I would try. And the next thing I knew, my health was improved. The next thing I knew, I was giving up medications I didn't have to have anymore. Then I was like, I started walking and going for walks, and I started walking just 1 or 2 telephone pole lengths each day. Sorry, I didn't mean to put my hand in front of your face, honey. And then now I can do anywhere from 3 to 5 miles a day. Now I take only 2 medications out of a list that was this long. I dropped 65 pounds. I eat healthier, and this part I'm not really happy about. My hair is coming back to dark colors. In the back when I shave it now, when I cut it myself, because I cut it myself, it's all black. And I really love my gray hair, so I asked them if they could slow that down a little bit. But what it is just revitalizes you. Everything changes for you. And it's all done naturally. You do it all naturally. It's very slow. Don't think that, oh, geez, this means tomorrow I got to give up this and that. See, right there, that's being negative. What they taught me was to first I had to give up smoking. I mentioned that in my first video. That was very difficult, but they were there for the process. And I'll go into that more some other day. If somebody needs help with that process, then I'll do a video on that if I get enough requests. But what I found was that then I wanted to lose the weight. I started to lose weight. But what they taught me was give up one thing. Give up. And my mother always said, do the hardest thing first. So I love carbs. I love bread. So that was the first thing I gave up to lower my carbohydrate intake, was just bread. And even just getting rid of bread, because you have a toast in the morning, a sandwich and stuff, maybe a sandwich at dinner. I mean, that's 3 times a day right there, and that's not counting what's in it or desserts or any of that. So I just gave up the bread. And once I started to see improvement, that encouraged me. That encouraged me. It's like going to work and doing a good job and you get a raise. That encourages you then. All right? And I looked at my progress as a raise, which actually it was, because it would raise my vibration. And then I would add something else, and then add something else. Okay? So eventually, it took me 1 year to lose 65 pounds and increase my health and keep walking and keep going. Listen to your angels. They're all trying to talk to you, all of you, in one form or another. And on my next video, we're going to go through the different forms of how they try to talk to you. I'll give a list, and then maybe we'll go and do a video on each one of the forms so that you can understand maybe how they're trying to talk to you. They talk to everybody differently. But it's to wake up, be open, and be aware, and ask. Speak out loud and ask your angels, can you help me with this? This is a free world. And on our side, we think it means, oh, you can live where you want, wear your hair how you want, dress however you want, sit with every teddy bear you want. On the other side, it means that we're free to make our own choices and that the angels cannot interrupt our choices unless we ask for help. So think about that. Free will. And until we talk again, may your source or your God or Allah bless you as I bless myself in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Until we meet again, namaste.